So, I'm very glad I got to experience a taste of confusion when I awakened, because when I broke through, it led to me discovering one of the biggest things that lead people into psychosis after an awakening, and they start having a flood of knowledge, or their discernment becomes so strong they can tell people things that are going to happen before they do, and then they come back to you and like, this happened. It's like but anyway, I've noticed that a lot of people after awakening, they struggle to differentiate, is that the word? The difference between their own voice, like their inner monologue. A lot of people have a very strong inner monologue. Some people don't have one at all. Head empty, brain smooth. But for the people who do and go through this path and have an awakening, I've noticed a lot of them confuse that inner voice for the voice of God, the voice of angels, the voice of ancestors, the voice of spirit guides. And let me tell you, that inner voice that brings you realizations without you having to think, they just come into your mind. People call them downloads. That inner voice that tells you, hey, do this, and it ends up saving you, or things like that. That inner voice is more than your intuition. That is what people call the higher self. The higher self is a body that exists outside of the 3D, is how I would describe it. We as people are very layered. We're very intricately designed so that our consciousness that is so big can experience this world. But in layers, we are 3D, but our consciousness is not. So it kind of extends. But this is about knowing your mind voice versus your higher self. And a lot of people get that confused. After I had a Kundalini awakening, I was sitting on my couch. Literally, I got out of a meditation. I did Reiki that day. I'm gonna tell y'all the process first. I realized that something about this world that never made sense to me since a child, that made me want to die since a child, that made me feel like I never belonged since a child. I realized that it truly was optional. I'll leave it there because I've explained in other videos. But I realized, and I started being to myself and focusing on my mind, on my art, and my healing. I did Reiki, and baby, everything purged out of my body. It was crazy. And then I got up, did another meditation, and after I came out of it, I was wanting to lay down on my couch. And then I feel this flow of energy from my neck just like pop and burst, like it literally was like a fire exploding, like in your neck, the back of your neck, just. And then it started to just like flow, like my higher self had led me to knowledge of what Kundalini and awakenings are and whatnot. And the fact that that's just a hidden part of your body and DNA is so crazy to me. And most people don't experience it in this lifetime. But after that, oh my God, I started flowing. And again, I have a very strong inner monologue. There were true connections and there were false ones. And I feel like there is a purpose for the confusion that comes with awakening, because there is something that does not want you to fully awaken. And that's where psychosis comes in, and truth becomes jumbled and all that shit. And the voice of yourself, the voice of your higher self that has led you to this point now becomes bigger. Or if you always thought it wasn't your higher self or something bigger, it becomes stronger. The way the divine or unseen forces interact is through the 5D. That could be like mental, like your imagination, your consciousness, like your dreams. 5D is not materialized. It's a plane that exists purely in the conscious mind, and you can experience wholly as if it were material. I'd say that is 5D consciousness. And then 4D, time, where you experience synchronicities, numbers, numerology. That is where you usually perceive synchronicities from the divine, what people perceive to be ancestors, guides, spirit team. But I don't know what it truly is, what this power truly is. As I've gone through on this journey, I'm not sure if I believe in ancestors in the way I used to, which is interesting. Like, I do know something, but I'm learning with y'all, and I'm on this journey too. And I just wanted to share what helped me avoid losing it. Grounding definitely helped. Meditation. And the thing is, while I was in this stage where truth was getting jumbled after my awakening, because the synchronicities were very real, like they're all very real. That's the thing. They're like made before you even get to that point. It's like something knows you're gonna get to that point eventually, and it's like preparing to scream in your mind. And to get out of that state, I was meditating and very grounded during that time, but still some of the information that was coming to me, a lot of it was true. I'm not gonna download myself, and a lot of it got jumbled as well. So it was an interesting mix. But throughout that whole experience, I still had audacity. I was still posting my words and shit. And you truly do have to ground yourself when you're getting a flow of knowledge. And I feel like this video will be helpful. I hope that someone who is awakening or has not awakened yet finds this before they do, or if they do, because you really do have to keep yourself sane, because this realm is meant to kind of confuse you at that point, and then if you get out of it, it's more so safe. I'm chatting. But yes, the language of the higher self through the 4D, through time, through the 5D, through your mind and dreams. Now, if you are a person with clairvoyance, meaning you hear or see things some other people may not, before other people may not, or you're able to see things people cannot from a distance. Maybe you get messages through music. Those are all true. Those are all your gifts. But that's more telepathic. It's weird. It's more of a telepathic skill that's literally built into and doesn't come from. As 3D beings, we do have a combination of these skills. Like, yes, we are 3D, but we are God's creations. We work I won't say similarly, because I feel like it is way more intricate and large than we could ever imagine, more incomprehensible than we could ever imagine. But deception does kick in, and you do have to protect yourself. I've talked about this so many times. Deception and confusion really does destabilize you on this path, even if you are following your passion, even if you are doing the right practices, deception can come in, the spirit of deception, confusion, and like that could throw you off. That could really throw you off. So it is important that one stays grounded. It is important that one is seeing multiple perspectives of things during the time of awakening or gnosis. Alright, that voice in your head is not your angels. Controversial, but true take to an extent. I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank y'all. I hope y'all liked the little drawing I did. It took some time. Yeah.
They ask me how I've been. Yeah, I've been here for them years. Can't even see myself. Can't even be myself. Be myself. Feel like I'm killing myself.